Hi, my name is Jacqui-lee Pryce and welcome to Shadowboxruk. Miss Hannah Rankin, how are you doing?
Doing really well, thank you. Yeah, really good.
Good. You look well.
Yeah.
You're looking very
Always
well.
got a smile.
Yeah, listen, you know what? There's worse things happening in this world.
Absolutely.
So, I understand you just finished a training session. How'd that go?
No, really good. I was doing some sprints this morning. I do a lot of my sprint training at an altitude centre here in London. They sponsor me, so it's always an absolute killer, but it's definitely good, and it's makes a massive change to my performances in the ring. So it's well worth it.
Yeah. Hey, listen. At the end of the day, you get out what you put in.
Absolutely.
So, before we go on to your boxing career, I just wanted to talk a little bit about, I was speaking to Chantel Cameron yesterday, and I was asking her how she sort of relaxed, because obviously we can't sort of treat ourselves with meals out. We can't treat ourselves with, I don't know, alcohol. I'm not sure if you drink or not. But, you're preparing for a fight. What do you do outside of boxing to relax, or what sort of things do you do to keep yourself sane, I guess?
I know it sounds a bit crazy, but like a lot of obviously when you're all cutting weight, you don't really want to be thinking about food, but I love watching cooking programs. I'm an absolute I'm totally addicted to all cooking programs. So people think I'm a little bit kind of harsh on myself, it's like put myself through double the amount of misery watching all this stuff, but I find it quite it chills me out, and I like to learn stuff when I'm watching various things. So it's nice to plan things that I might want to be able to make one day in my life, But actually, I watch a lot of cooking programs to chill out. Also, I'm a massive, ask anybody in my team, they all think I'm a total geek, but I love crosswords, puzzles, little word games. I'm doing them all the time. That's what I do to chill out. So yeah.
Firstly, about the programs, the food programs, that is absolute nuts. But whatever, whatever floats your boat.
Also keeps me busy, there's always something else I can be figuring out and working through. So whenever we have to do any long flights to America, Noel always turns up with a puzzle book for me. He's like, here you go, let me sleep on the plane. So
you're with the headphones on, head down, to the puzzle. Yeah, nice. And you play the bassoon. Do you not carry that with you and have a little practice sessions just to get in the zone, or is that something that gets left behind when you're at home?
They're two different things
when you go to your fight. Yeah,
when I've got a fight coming up, I'm fully focused on fighting. So actually a lot of things I'm watching are fight related. It's all about the boxing. I had my bassoon out last night because I was teaching one of my students in a Zoom call. So yeah, I had that out, but it's definitely my musical side of me. I don't actually spend as much time playing my instruments and things like that unless I absolutely have to, because it's a different sort of way of thinking about things, Whereas in boxing, I'm really focused on thinking about that basically and all the stuff that I'm working on. So I tend to the bassoon, it is loved, but it's left to the side for most of the time doing training.
Poor thing.
Oh, it loves it. It's been with me for a long time. It's fine. It can take it.
What I am impressed about though is that you went to the Royal Academy, didn't you, of music?
Yeah, Royal
Nice.
Academy of Music. I went there to study my masters and professional diploma as well.
Actually, near me.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's actually near me. No, brilliant.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, it's such a beautiful area, and it was an amazing place to go and study. I kind of felt like I was, somebody said, it's kind of like you go to Hogwarts. I was like, yeah, it's kind of fancy like that, but it's real nice.
Yeah. So, do you get loads of different nationalities, I'm guessing there?
Absolutely. Yeah, everything. This is probably one of my favorite things about being a musician, actually, is the fact that I've had the chance to travel all around the world and do music in various countries, but also the fact that I am encountering all different cultures, all different backgrounds, all different nationalities all of the time. And the one thing, we might not all speak the same language, but when it comes to music, we all get it. We all have that sort of link, which is kind of a nice thing to have, really.
I mean, it's really like boxing, isn't it? Because you can go anywhere in the world and you mention boxing or that you do boxing. Basically, we are a boxing family.
Absolutely. definitely. And I love that feeling about boxing as well. So it's probably something that really drew me to it. Like the fact that you can, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can walk into a gym and lace up the gloves and work on the bag, and everyone accepts you for who you are. And that's great. I really like that.
Miss Hannah Rankin.
Yep.
Would you like to show me, because I'm seeing in the background there a WBC medal just dangling strategically.
Oh,
Would
yeah.
you...
Yeah, no, my WBC medals there. I've got actually a little shelf behind me, actually. It's got some of my belts on it here. You know, some of my international challenge belt, my WBC. And actually, that's my friend's baby in that picture.
Oh, hello. Can we have a look at the medals at the back? What's going on behind you? Let's not miss those out.
These ones you get with the WBC when you compete for a WBC belt. So when I got my it was my silver title, I got one of these belts, one of these medals at the end. So they always give you nice things. And then over here, I've got my IBO belt as well.
Wow.
So I need a bigger shelf.
Yes, most definitely. You need a cabinet.
Yeah. Well, you know, I actually would love to have a cabinet, you know. It'd be quite cool.
Yeah, you need a cabinet. Yeah. So you came into boxing, I would say late.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, late-ish. I was trying to think of a polite word, but that's polite. Late-ish. And you are going to be boxing, though, on October the 17th for the WBO World Female Middleweight Championship title.
Yeah. Absolutely buzzing about it. I can't wait. Really excited. It's great to have another world title fight here, a women's world title fight here in the UK. And it's on Sky Sports, so everybody can watch it. And I think it's just going to be such an exciting fight for people to watch. So, yeah, no, I absolutely can't wait.
So you're going to be boxing Savannah Marshall, the silent assassin. I mean, talk to me about how things changed from her boxing Clarissa Shields, or there was talk of her boxing Clarissa Shields, to now it being you. Is that down to Corona?
I think definitely, because she hasn't got anybody else around the weight class in the UK that can actually fight her. She was meant to be fighting a light heavyweight. She wasn't even thinking about the Shields fight. I mean, she talks about it all the time, but she's been asked for that fight a few times and said no. So I think that, you know, she was looking to go to light heavyweight, box Perez, I think it was, from Javona Perez from New Zealand for the light heavyweight title. And then, of course, COVID happened and she couldn't come to the UK. So this fight I was offered the fight in February, just before my last fight. I said yes. And then they went the light heavyweight route. And then I thought, me and my coach, like, that offer's going to come back again because there's no one else for her to fight. And if she's going to fight again this year, I'm the only person here. So, it came around again. And, this time I was like, let's get it on. Why not?
I mean, to be fair, from what I understand, and I'm guessing it's the same from the women's side as it is to the men's, people are looking at this from a business point of view and not a personal point of view, and thinking which is the best strategic move for them. So possibly that's why the fight didn't happen at the time. I don't know.
I don't think so, no. I had the fight in February. I stopped a former world champion in 3 rounds, and I said yes to the fight with Savannah, and it was all going to go ahead. And then Eddie stepped in and was like, no, we're going to light heavyweight. She's going to go fight for a world title there. So I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. You know, I have loads of options elsewhere. I was meant to be fighting back in the States, and then, of course, COVID hit. So I was going to be fighting in May there, and then potentially in September. But obviously, the whole thing's been so up in the air. And then this offer came through, and I was like, yeah, I want to fight again this year. So, yeah, we'll take it. And I think, you know, she was offered me, and there wasn't another option. So it was either me or no one. So that was her choice. And thankfully, she decided, she wanted to have the fight. So we're both getting it on the 17th, which is great.
I think it'll be a great fight. And I tell you what, though, so you usually fight at welterweight. She's super coming down. Yeah. Sorry, super welterweight. She's coming down from super middleweight. You've boxed before at middleweight, haven't you? When you boxed Clarissa Shields, if I remember rightly. So therefore, you know, what are your thoughts on her coming down from super middle?
Well, this will be the first time she's ever made middleweight. So, like, as a professional, I know as an amateur, she boxed at what is the middleweight category as an amateur, but that's heavier than the professional middleweight category. So, this will be the first time she's made 72 kilos. It's not the first time for me. I've done it a few times, and it'll be interesting to see how she feels later on in the rounds. I know exactly how I'm going to feel. I've done it before a few times. I'm for the championship distance, so I know pretty much what my body's going to do, how I'm going to feel. So that for me, there's no unknowns. I'm going into this as I feel a bit ahead of the game when it comes to the weight. And yeah, no, there was no way I was going to go up to super middle to fight her, you know. So it was agreed we're going to meet in the middle. And of course, she keeps talking about fighting Carissa, and Carissa's going to fight her at middleweight. So she needs to make middleweight at some point if she's ever going to entertain that fight. But unfortunately, she's got to get through me first. So.
To be fair, she has boxed at 69. You did say, like, okay, she hasn't boxed at middleweight as a professional, but her real weight, I should say, when she was an amateur, was actually 69 kilos. I think that's the light middleweight in the pros. So she was a 69. Bear with me, because you just screwed your face up. She was 69 before she went up to 75. She was 69 because there was no Olympic category.
Yeah, there wasn't an Olympic category at 69. It's only recently they brought that in.
Right. So she was originally a 69, gone up to a 75. So you could argue that she has actually fought at that weight before. I don't know. What do you think?
No. I think she's been at the weight as an amateur, but that's different to being at a weight as a pro. You know, like you ask anybody what it's like to box at one weight at 69 and then box at 72, there's definitely a difference. You know, it's a very different thing. So I think as a pro, she's not been tested at that weight. That's the best way to say it, probably, as you say.
And you said, or you have said, that you feel that you have boxed the more superior people in the pro game. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, well, if you just look at my resume, I've been in with some of the top female fighters on the planet. And so my resume in comparison to Savannah's is obviously I would say a higher resume, if you want to put it that way. More experience with higher level fighters. So yeah, no, I think that's basically the only way you can really say it, to be honest. But it, you know, I've had more fights than her, and that's probably what people are saying. You know, the amateur, like the professional experience that I've got is coming up against, like, you know, the size and the reach of Savannah, coming down to middleweight. So, and that's kind of how it's going to be compared, really.
I do think that it's actually quite a nice balance, because you're saying that you have fought at a high level in the professional side. You know, I know you guys don't want to hark on about the amateurs, but you have to kind of take that into account in terms of when you get somebody that has boxed in the amateurs at a high level, they've got, you know, they've got a lot of experience, and so you're kind of level in that respect. You may or may not agree, but what I am interested in is the fact that you have brought in Gary the Kid Jacobs. Did he work with you before? Or is it literally just for this fight?
Yeah, he's worked with me for 2 or 3 fights now. 3 fights now. Whenever I'm home in Scotland, I train at the Kinnick boxing gym there, and Gary Jacobs, he trains there as well. And him and Noel, they get on really well. They're really similar, actually. They've got real similar personality traits. So whenever I'm home, I've got somebody that I train with. I do pads with him, work with him at home, and it's just great to have him in the corner. You know, he's been there, seen there, done that at the very top level of the game, you know, and it's a fantastic addition to my team, and I love having him there. So I've kind of seen him like my uncle. So it's a great person to have in the corner, and him, Rich, and Noel all get on really well. So yeah, I've always got a solid backing in my corner, which I feel good about.
I mean, he's a former British and European champion himself, so he, you know, has had that experience in the ring. So, you know, he can really kind of empathize with what you're going through, can't he?
Yeah, and also he fought over in America. He fought Pernell Whitaker, Buddy McGirt, only just like losing out in those world title shots. So it's like, you know, he's that guy that stood there and heard for the 12th and final round. You know, he knows how that feels as a professional. And yeah, no, it's fantastic to have him there. And what he's what he can bring to the table, all that knowledge and experience, you can't buy that. You can't get that anywhere unless you've been there and done it. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's amazing to have.
Brilliant. Having watched various social media things around this fight, would it be safe to say that I don't know, that it's upsetting you very slightly that Savannah isn't sort of pushing the fight, or, you know, sort of there doesn't seem to be that banter or sort of, I don't know, back and forth?
It's not bothering me in any way, because I didn't expect her to have much chat. She doesn't normally say anything in the lead up to any of her fights, so I really wasn't expecting her to say much this time around. Just because she knows me doesn't mean she's going to say anything more than she ever normally does. So that's not bothered me at all. And I thought, well, you know, if you're going to sell a fight, you should probably want to be, you know, you've got fans and people who support you. So it's good to come out and talk and have an opinion on things, you know. And unfortunately, as a fighter, you can't just do nothing. People want to hear from you, and that, you know, your fans are your biggest supporters. They're the people out there who are pushing for you to get that win. So it's respectful to be, you know, active on social media and you know, put some stuff out for them. And she doesn't do that. So, but I wasn't expecting her to, and yeah, it doesn't bother me.
To be fair, she is known as the silent assassin. That is her personality. She's not really she's not one for sort of being all over social media. And I do think that this fight, can I say, will sell itself.
What I mean with like social media is that I'm always active on social media anyway. So like when it comes to the fact that I've got a fight coming up, oh yeah, I'll repost stuff, I'll put things out. Sky Sports want to put stuff out, they can put stuff out. You know, it's like, I'm always going to retweet it and put it back out again, because they did the service of coming in to interview me in the lead up to the fight. So I'll repost it and say, thanks, cheers, and tell my opinion and my side of the story. So, you know, and great fights, they do build themselves, you know. As fighters, it doesn't, everyone's excited about this fight, lots of people talking about it, and that's what's really great, is that it's a top female fight, and I've got people left, right and center talking about it, and that's great for women's boxing as a whole. But yeah, no, so any chance to get a chance to put something out there, that someone's done some videos, or like our interview here, I'll post it out. Tell people, hey, have a watch, have a listen, see what I've got to say, you know, get to know me as a person, because as a fan, you want to invest in your fighters, don't you? You want to find something that you think, oh, I like that about them, or I don't like that, or I want to see them do this, I want to see them win, all this sort of stuff. So it's good to be vocal, I think, to be honest.
I totally agree with what you're saying about, you know, I understand also that you want to invest in your fans. I just think sometimes, like you said, a fight sells itself. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? You want to sort of include the fans, and then there's the uncomfortable side, I think, of how much do you do. Some people are more comfortable doing that sort of stuff, and other people aren't. I guess I can sympathise with that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's different, aren't they? You know, not everybody wants to be on social media in the lead up to a fight, and that's their decision. A lot of my times I do my own social media, and me and my coach, we sort things out, put things out, and do what we need to do. But I allow time in the day for that. That's part of what I do. You know, it's my scheduling, and I allow time to make sure that I put something out, or I've responded to people, or done whatever, because I think that's, you know, respectful thing to do.
So I wanted to ask you, because you did mention on Twitter when I interviewed Patricia Bergolt that you wanted to fight her again. So let's say you're successful on the 17th. Just as a sort of grudge match, would you be interested in boxing her again?
Well, when I win the WBO World Middleweight title on the 17th of October, that would mean Patricia has to step up to middleweight to fight me for that world title, or I step down to super welterweight. But regardless of that fact, I'll fight her anytime, anywhere again. It doesn't matter where and what weight. I'm not fussed either or. But for me, my main focus is this fight with Savannah on the 17th and winning that world title at middleweight. So we'll see what happens after that. But if a fight was to come about, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I know that it seems, stuff that I've seen, it seems to have, you know, that's one that got away type of thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to say that it was my best performance. It wasn't my best performance. It's one of my worst performances in the ring. And it's still a controversial decision at the end of the day. So, you know, I'd be happy to step in the ring with her again and correct my last performance, and go away with the win. But that hasn't come about. So this is what's coming up next instead. So I'm focused on that just now.
So listen, thank you very much for giving us your time.
No
I
problem.
know your schedule is full, but listen, I believe you and me, this is, you know, gathering a lot of momentum, a lot of interest. I can't wait to see this fight. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, and I'm really surprised about that. You know, a lot of people have been quite excited about it, and it being a female fight, it's just, I think since the first fight camp, when Eddie had all the other ladies on the card before, it's really kind of stoked the fire of people, and people are interested and excited about women's boxing. And so this time around, they're like, oh yeah, great, there's some more female fights on the card. And so it's really exciting, and I'm pleased to see that, because now people are like, oh yeah, I'll watch that fight, and I'm looking forward to seeing yours. And of course, being the England versus Scotland match, then everybody's into that. So yeah, no, it'll be good.
Do you know what I find interesting about this whole thing? It's like, oh, other people are now catching up to what we already know.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been saying this for ages, but it's great that now the general public are kind of jumping on board as well. So that's good to see.
Well, listen, enjoy the rest of your training. You know, good luck with everything, you know, and really enjoy and relish this chance, because here's the thing, like we've said, there are very few people that are actually able to get these opportunities at the moment. So,
oh yeah, I'm absolutely, I feel so blessed to be one of the few fighters that's getting a chance to fight in the UK at the moment. It's what I wanted the whole way through lockdown. All I was thinking about was getting a fight and wanting to be out there and performing and doing what I do best. And then it came, you know, so you know, I'm really, really happy about that. So yeah, I'm a very lucky person.
Well, good luck. Keep in touch. Let us know how you get on, or well, we'll be watching on the night, I should say.
We're watching, yeah.
But yeah, and hopefully you'll come back and have a chat to us after the fight.
Absolutely. Just give me a shout. I'm happy to do that.
If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber of Shadowboxruk UK, we'd love to see you. So please go ahead and subscribe now.